Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all fandoms, welcome to the Ferret Raccoon podcast, episode 72. I am Terrets.
I'm Recess.
And I'm the Angry Raccoon, and boy, we have a odd cast this time around. So obviously most people know who Terrets is. He's been on the podcast a few times. I think about 5 now. I
feel like at this point it should be, like, you should just change that F in Ferret to a T, and we're just fine.
It could very easily morph into that, but given how Ferret's been acting over the last few weeks, that might just happen. I'm joking, of course. He's not back to his racist ways again, but we don't need to go back onto that. But we're also joined by Recess.
Yep, hey, my podcast cherry will be popped.
Yes, this is the first one you've been on, because I think you've technically only been on, I think, one video now, because the 4 other videos you were on have been
removed.
Deleted, yes. They've been deleted thanks to YouTube. So if this is the first time hearing him, then you're either not a fan or you need to blame YouTube. But yes, so we're bringing you the first podcast of October 2017, the month of horror and spookiness. And we definitely have a podcast that's kind of geared sort of towards that for the most part, I would say, given the discussion. But I think as soon as we have 2 people who aren't usually on the podcast, let's see what they've been up to. So, Terrets.
Well, I like the trend of me coming onto the podcast on or just after, like, very, like, big events in my life. Because last time I was on, it was my birthday. And I was like, sure, I can spend 3 hours doing this. And now, yesterday was my SO's anniversary. So I was like, man, I don't know how bad I'm going to drink the night before. And I was really concerned that I might be, like, super hungover and unpleasant. That was...
But it's
that
nice.
was a concern, but thankfully I survived somehow.
It's nice you had that thought for the podcast, I must say. That concern, if anything.
Like, you're like, I need somebody because it's going to be super intimate. I'm like, I am super good at intimacy. Let's go.
Let's do this, boy.
But other than that, I've been good. I finally finished Catherine.
Oh, the infamous.
My first, like, actual playthrough. I still got, like, 30 fucking achievements to go.
Oh, actually going to 100% that.
I'm going to do my fucking damnedest, Raccoon. It's going to be awful. I'm going to hate the game by the end.
I can see that.
Alright, so, Recess, you don't mind if I spoil a little bit, do you?
No, go for it.
Alright, so, fuck the boss. Him in that fucking chair was one of the most unpleasant fucking gaming experiences I've ever had.
Are you talking about the,
like, second to last boss?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He, like, curb stomps you and, because, Recess, so you know, it's a game where you climb up, like, blocks in your dreams.
Uh-huh.
And at the end, you realize that the bartender and, like, owner of the bar that you hang out with your boys is the guy who orchestrated a lot of this.
Okay.
Behind it all.
So he was like, nah, fuck you. If you win, nobody's gonna have these fucking nightmares anymore that kills him in real life. But if you lose, you die.
Right.
And your boy main character is like, cool, that sounds like a plan. I also want to wish. And the boss is just like, well, you're not gonna win, so sure, whatever. I'll agree to anything. And then there are like there's a big fucking to-do, because Raccoon, this game has so many finals.
Yeah,
it's like
does.
Final area, final night, final stage. I'm like, you keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Yeah, pretty much.
But we, like, because it was a game I played with Amanda, my significant other. And, like, for the first run, we started, like, a couple of days before my birthday, because it was, like, on sale, so I bought it, and I was like, this is my birthday present to myself, Amanda. If you answer all the questions, that will be your birthday present to me. She's like, cool. So, we go through, we're fucking playing. That guy will, like, angle the camera in a wonky way, so it's hard to see where you're moving.
Yeah.
And then, like stomp his boot into the fucking thing, into the, like, blocks, and can kill you like that. And there were, like, 4 times where Amanda was just like, what the fuck was that? Like, I felt good because she was upset.
Yeah, he doesn't telegraph any of
yeah.
his moves. It's just like, oh, I'm just going to do that now. And it's like, because he's constantly moving around and so is the platform, it's like, it's tricky to get a hang on it for the most part.
But I think we got literally the worst ending.
Oh, okay. Don't spoil that ending because there are multiple ones. But I think I know which one you mean.
It's the one, like, I'm gonna spoil it a little bit because it's not like it's not really an ending. The game just kind of stops.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the one with the lone raccoon, if you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm sitting next to Amanda. I'm like, the fuck? Is this really how it ends? And then the credits are rolling. I'm like, oh, god damn it.
Gotta play it again.
So what, did the ending spoil it for you?
No.
Okay.
There's abrupt in some sense, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, for you, the ending was just a bit, like...
anticlimactic.
Yeah, basically.
So, like, this whole game is about infidelity and, like, relationships.
Yeah.
And the cover of the game is one of the girls in your life, like, all, like, dressed up and, like, nice, like, sexy looking. And so my partner Amanda was like, fuck this game's sexist and the patriarchy. And I'm like not in so many words, but like, this is how I like to exaggerate her. And I was like, no, hear me out. This game is really, and I do my nerd spiel about how this game's actually like
adjust glasses
and not just titties. It's a honey pop is basically what I
explained.
And so I was like, just play it with me and you'll see. And so like on the last night or the night before, I can't remember which, we finish and I was like the fucking final boss, she's just sitting on the edge of the couch like leaning in, and I like paused the game for a second. She's like, what? I was like, so is this game more than what you thought it would be? And she's like, yeah. I was like, do you agree that you were wrong to judge this game by its cover? And she's like, you just want to be fucking right, don't you? And I'm like, yes, I do.
Oh, jeez.
That was her gift to me on our anniversary.
Lesson to be learned.
Well, fuck it. I'm gonna tell Recess. Raccoon, you can mute this out if you want to. But yeah, it's that was that whole gaming thing. Like, I beat Assassin's Creed 3 as well, 100%, and that was a fucking garbage fire.
Yeah, not the best one.
Aside from that, we saw Moon with Sam Rockwell and
oh yes, Moon, yeah.
And that was fun. For whatever reason, I thought Morgan Freeman was it.
What was in it or was going to be in it?
Like what? Both.
Oh, okay.
Like somebody told me about this movie, and I was like, all right, cool. This is weird and out there. I dig it. And like, I don't, for whatever reason, I like associated Morgan Freeman with this movie as a reveal character. Like, he just shows up and it's like, dun dun dun.
Not sure how you got to that.
I don't either. Like, I think it might just be because, like, there was a movie on, like, a space station where it was, like, and somebody, like, called it, like, it was like Moon, and that movie had Morgan Freeman.
Oh, okay. Bizarre.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. And then I started watching a show on Netflix that came out. Called Big Mouth.
Yes, we talked about that a couple months back. No, not months. Podcasts back, I should be more precise.
Shit, did we talk about that on 69?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Okay.
What is that about?
Yeah, it's a show about 12-year-olds going through puberty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a good show or?
It's animated.
Okay.
Your hormones are personified as a hormone monster, and it's got a bunch of like really good comedians like John Mulaney, Nick Kroll, Maya Rudolph, Jenny Slate. But there are like,
it's a tough one to explain.
Yeah, it's a tough one to say if it's good or not. I enjoyed it, but I'm also a weird fuck. Like, there was a scene where a girl put a mirror next to her vagina and like looked at it, and the vagina was personified to have eyes and a mouth, and like it talked to her.
Okay.
Yeah, it's out there. I've seen that clip, and I'm
what
like,
did it say?
Its first words were "Hey girl, hey."
Okay. Wow.
And then it explained like all of the labia stuff, the clit, the vagina, the urethra.
So what direction is the show going? Is it supposed to be like educational, or is it just...
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
It feels like a coming of age story about like these kids going through puberty.
I would say they might have a little bit of informity in it.
Yeah.
Possibly, but I don't think that's its exact intention.
Mm.
Yeah, like because my partner has a 10-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
and so we were talking, and I was like, and she brought up like, do you think this would be good for her? And I was like, give it like a couple of years.
Yeah.
This is a lot. Like, have you ever heard of Prairie Home Companion?
No.
Okay, it is an NPR show about like a fucking like Midwest person in like the 1800s doing stuff, I believe. It's basically a super dry NPR talk or like radio show.
Okay.
And so one of the ways the male main character got rid of his hormone monster, i.e. think about sports, think about your grandma, was he thought about the announcer from that, who is incredibly non-sexual. And then later in the episode, the hormone monster comes back with that guy's head and fucking skull fucks it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's odd and like fucking out there, and I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed John Mulaney and like Nick Kroll in general.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's one of those things where after the second episode, you'll figure out if you like it or not.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely not for mass appeal. I couldn't see Fox showing this on TV because they would have issues with stuff like that. I've also seen the show get a lot of hate based on its art style, which is quite funny. Because I was kind of saying to someone, I love how this show doesn't get a pass, but shows like Rick and Morty do. Just based on its style.
Hate for the art style.
Well, people think that Big Mouth is the worst animated and worst designed cartoon on TV right now, and there ever will be. And there's a lot of people throwing it massive shade, especially illustrators and animators being like, oh man, I could do better than this. And you look at their art and it's a bunch of really creepy stuff. And it's like, it's not something we really need to delve into on this podcast, but it's just like, people really that bored, I guess. But yeah, it's only because I haven't really heard anyone actually talk about whether they like the show or not until everyone's just been going, the animation style is rubbish. I've never watched it, but it's rubbish. The show's rubbish. Netflix needs to put on better shows for TV. Because I would know.
It looks alright though. It looks decent.
Recess is looking it up.
Yeah.
It was okay. It had like 8 episodes, so it was easy. It was an easy sit.
Easy watching.
It was another like show about like weird sex stuff that like Amen was like, no, fuck this, and then like I unplugged it because they made like an NPR reference that she laughed at, or like a Nathan Fillion Firefly reference, and then she started just watching with me, and she's like, fuck you, and I was like, yeah, I know, I am like the worst.
I'm a character.
Yeah.
That's how most discussions end.
Other than that, like I started watching The Good Place and like finished that up, and that was a lot of fun.
Never heard of it.
TV show with Ted Danson and Kristen Bell, where Kristen Bell dies, and she ends up in like the good place, quote unquote, which is like the allegory to heaven, because in the show, heaven isn't actually right. Nobody got like more than 2% right, really.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, this is for like the best of the best people, like people who lived their entire lives at like working at soup kitchens, or like donated both their kidneys and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
But the main character is there by mistake.
Oh, interesting.
She was kind of like a shitty person, and so now she like tries to be better.
Okay.
And hijinks ensue.
Fair
I
enough.
like it. It's got Ted Danson, and I'm a fucking Cheers sucker, so I'll watch it.
Fair enough. I can understand that. Yeah, I've not heard of it at all. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it. Season 2 came out recently, right?
I only have it on Netflix, so I didn't realize season 2 had been out already. I thought it was like coming out soonish.
Oh,
If
I
it has,
think it's
good
out.
deal. I'll be exciting.
But yeah, I've never watched it.
Okay, it's interesting.
Another show I would recommend, lightly at least. Other than that, I don't think like too much has been going on. Amanda got a world record in speedrunning.
That's cool.
Wow.
But it was a super jokey world record because nobody else had like runs in that category.
Interesting.
But you know what they say: a win is still a win.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But that's pretty much going on with me.
Interesting. That's cool. A lot of very eventful for the most part.
Yeah.
Reese's, how's your September been? We can throw it to your September as soon as I know things have happened.
Yeah, things have happened. I don't know. Finally handed in my dissertation, so my studies are done.
Ooh.
That master's finished.
Masters finished, out the way. I hope nothing serious happened.
Yeah,
I'll do it again.
Yeah.
No. Out the way. It's just been like job hunting now, really.
Yeah.
Just trying to get those applications in, those long applications in.
Yes.
So
fun.
Very fun.
Mm.
And then you kind of start thinking about the things you can do once you get paid.
Yeah.
But yeah, your imagination runs away with you. I don't know. On Handing Day, for my dissertation, I did watch it.
Oh, the new one.
Yep, new one. I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't know. I tried to watch the original one. I did get a bit bored.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Exactly, right? So I didn't really have high hopes for this new one. But no, I really enjoyed it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we did a review on the channel, me and Ace, because Ace seen it, I haven't. I refused to watch it. But yeah, I'm kind of glad that you came out kind of saying it's alright instead of going, it's the scariest film I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god. You know, Stephen King says he was scared while watching it. Oh, and, you know, because it just seems like it's alright.
Why do you refuse to watch it? You have a lot of movies that you just refuse to watch.
Because I don't think there's any real need to remake any of his films. I'm not going to support that idea. I don't really want to support bad ideas.
Oh my god, have you seen the fucking It miniseries? It's awful.
Yes, I have. It is awful.
Then that's the exact time you want to redo something. When it's awful, you do it better.
This was definitely better.
I give it that, but I just don't care. The whole concept of it pisses me off.
I don't know. There were some like comical elements in the movie.
Intentional or?
You see, I don't think they were intentional. I don't think they were. There's a scene where he's just like running
in the water.
Yeah, have you seen that?
Yes, I have seen it. That's the funniest scene in
Hilarious.
the whole. Oh, like when we talked about it in the trailer, I was like, I can't take this film seriously. Not after you see that.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that supposed to be? That's not scary. That's funny. I couldn't take that. No, I couldn't. But yeah, I mean, the film was successful, so good for it. You got to wait 2 more years for the sequel. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, very much so. I caught Spider-Man the other day.
Which Spider-Man?
The latest one.
Because there's 2 Spider-Man films coming out this year. So which one?
Wait, what?
There's an animated one.
Oh
and then
no,
there's
Homecoming.
Homecoming. Okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No, Homecoming. I was disappointed.
Were you?
Yeah. Did you see it?
I seen it. Yeah.
Did you like it?
I liked it, but I was definitely like, it's no Sam Raimi.
What, like, I don't know what it didn't seem like Spider-Man. To me, something was missing, and it wasn't the scene where he gets bitten by the spider. Glad they didn't do that again. I'm so happy. But something was missing from it. I don't know.
You haven't quite put your finger on it.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest problem with the film was the fact that it kind of looked like crap, and the action was bad.
Right.
Like, that's what I didn't like about it. I mean, I thought other things were cool, but it was just like, Spider-Man, I've seen it. I wouldn't say it's disappointing. I'd definitely say it's a decent film, but it's nothing to really scream about.
But to like an extent, I don't know. I think they played too much on his suit, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remembered he actually has powers. It's not just the suit giving him powers.
Yeah.
I don't know, something I can't quite place. But it wasn't.
Fair enough.
I haven't seen it yet, but I have a question if I can guess what it was that you were missing.
Yeah.
Was it the young, hot Aunt May nude scene? Is that what it was missing? Because I feel like it was missing that.
That was needed, right?
I guess that would be needed because she is much younger in this film. So yeah.
And she wasn't in it as much as I thought she would be.
No, she had like maybe 2-3 scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was just like, maybe in the sequel, the inevitable sequel.
No steamy hot showers.
Or the spin-off. Like Sony was actually going to do the Aunt May film. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like Raccoon, that's a fucking Onion article that you read.
Well,
what are they going to do?
Keep in mind, they were building up for a Sinister Six film.
Yep, they still are.
And they're doing that god-awful Venom film. Yes, I know the film's not out, but I'm still going to call it god-awful. They had plans to do spin-off on pretty much everything. There's a great interview by the two producers of the Sony Spider-Man films where someone was asking them, "Oh, what do you intend to do with the franchise?" To which the guy said, "Nothing is sacred, we'll do everything." And I was like, wow, that's good to hear. So yeah, there was apparently going to be some form of Aunt May film talking about her past. Because people want to see that.
Wow.
If she's like Alfred though, that'd be dope, where he like
that's true.
Special forces and shit.
That would be her father. Sorry, that would be her husband, if anything.
God, I hope her husband's not her father.
Yeah. I messed up there. But yeah, anything else? Recess?
I mean, no. I recently got hyped about Mother just because someone posted online that they thought it was like a Rosemary's Baby kind of theme. And I was like, ooh.
No, it's not.
I'm interested.
It's not.
Okay, now you killed it.
What happened was someone saw the alternate poster for the film and thought it was a reference to the poster for Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, seriously?
But it's not actually a reference to Rosemary's Baby. It's a reference to Neon Genesis Evangelion, the end of Neon Genesis Evangelion. That's what it's a reference to.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, after saying Neon Genesis Evangelion, I feel so tired.
Yeah.
It's just such a long
exhausting
name.
Well, at least it's not the other films, because their titles do kind of get a bit long and a bit ridiculous. Still waiting for Evangelion Neon Genesis 4.0 brackets 0.5. It's going to be great.
What?
Yeah. I believe it's called... I think it's called 4.0 dash... brackets 0.01, I think, or something like that.
Good lord.
Wow.
Something done like that. Because, the first one is called 1.1, second one is called 2.22, and the third one is called 3.33. You can't remake the remake.
Ooh.
Is that like little bookend that you said in the title?
No, that's what it's actually... That's what one of them is actually called. You can't remake the remake.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Damn.
Stupid. Alright, I'll move on to me.
Spider-Man will prove you wrong with that. You can't remake it.
Oh, I bet, yeah. Homecoming 2.5. Yeah, that's coming eventually. Trust me. They'll start calling films that. You bet. Didn't really get up to much over the last 2 weeks. I managed to obtain 2 temporary jobs, which is about it. They're not going to last very long because I can't wait to quit one of them. Because I've already told Recess about the kinds of things happening in that job, and it's like, oof. No, thank you. But I did listen to a couple albums which I kind of want to plug and kind of like spread out there. So the first 2 come from the same artist. Yeah, this band was able to release 2 albums this year, and they apparently have a 3rd album still to come out this year, and that's the as quote the world's greatest boy band, being Brockhampton, coming out with Saturation 1 and 2, and yes, 3 still to come. Fantastic rap group / boy band. Please listen to the albums if you can. I also finally managed to listen to Gorilla Toss's new album, or their 2nd album, GT Ultra. If you want to hear an album that is really weird and sounds like the background music or opening for a cartoon as the best way to describe it, then listen to that 30-minute album. And the other one comes from a band I always talk about pretty much every time they release an album. That's Injury Reserve. They finally released a out of nowhere brand new short album. The album's only like 23 minutes long, like a tiny short project literally titled Drive Like It's Stolen, which has a great album cover of the three group mates in a car driving it, presumably because it's been stolen. Great stuff. I just want to plug those albums because I think all those artists need some more love. So I'll just get those out there for the most part. Ready to move on to some topics?
Yeah.
Terrets, I believe you have the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So, Tomb Raider is a game series that was made in the 90s because people liked boobs and Indiana Jones. And there was one star-struck man who thought, what if you did both?
Pretty much.
And now there are less boobs and more, like, pain noises, which for some people is like an alright thing. For some people, it's not anything sexual, but
I'm glad you brought that up because that was one thing that really annoyed me in that trailer was the added grunts, especially during like no music, no background kind of stuff. I was like, why are you adding that in? Like
it's to make it feel like the games because that shit happened in the games too.
But still, it's like it's not a game. Is this film confused or something? Because it looks like they're trying. I mean, I know this sounds dumb because it's based on the most recent games, but are they literally trying to rip off the games?
It's weird. Okay, so have either of you played either of the games?
I played Tomb Raider 2014.
Yeah, same.
Okay. So, I have as well, and I coincidentally looked into some of this before the podcast, and then you're like, oh, Tomb Raider is the first topic. I was like, fuck yeah, I know what I'm doing. Trinity is the bad guys from the second
game, yes.
And they have nothing to do with the first game.
Yeah.
But this plot has nothing to do with really either of them, except for the whole evil stepmother who's actually nice and Trinity and dad stuff, but it's not the same dad stuff. And also that plane and the boat stuff from the first game.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And goddamn, it's so weird, this fucking trailer for this movie.
Yeah, I'll say this, to be fair, I was kind of shocked that it was even a subpar trailer for the most part. I thought it was going to be the most, god-awful thing, but I was like, oh wow, they actually hired an editor. But, yeah, it's nothing special, to be honest. I mean, the main reason I want to talk about it is because I kind of want to throw in my theory and be that the only reason this film even exists, other than the other things I'm going to mention, is they just wanted to beat the Uncharted film, which is still in development hell. They've been working on that for almost 7 years now, and they just can't get it to work.
Man.
Which I don't blame them because I don't really want an Uncharted film. But yeah, the other thing I kind of want to question is, given, like you said, how, there's, so many in-continuity things with, the first game and the second game and, remaking scenes from the game, I'm kind of wondering whether the filmmakers, really like those bits in the game and wanted to recreate them, put them in the film, or whether Square Enix / Crystal Dynamics, the people who made the game, forced them to put it in there. I wonder...
That's a good point.
Yeah, I wonder if, literally Square Enix was like, no, you need to have the scene with the shipwreck, because the gamers love that scene, and you need to have the scene where she falls down the wall, and I don't know, just kind of, I don't know. It's so bizarre.
The scene with the plane was probably, one of the better scenes from the first game.
Yeah.
So, seeing that, I was just like, oh, it's that plane. And then she does her fucking, God damn that jump.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That impossible jump, yeah. With the all silent, let's hear the as I do it.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's not needed. Because that was obviously edited in, and I'm not going to see the film. But if I do use your imagination, if I'm sitting there and that does happen in the film, I'm going to be pretty angry.
Oh, angry? I would fucking laugh at that.
Oh, yeah. But it's unneeded, yeah. Oh gosh, it's ridiculous. Like playing tennis or something like that. Oh.
When she was going and she's going into the office building, it reminded me of fucking Iron Fist, which does not bode well to me.
Yeah.
Because it looks like the same fucking office building.
Ooh. I mean, given how much shit Iron Fist has got, yeah, you want to distance yourself from that to some extent. Oh god, yeah. I mean, I think we kind of just wanted to rip on this film.
Yeah, the trailer did nothing for me, really.
No, and you're like the biggest Tomb Raider fan
Right.
of the three of us, and I think, yeah, and I have another friend who's a big fan of Tomb Raider. They were like, nah, I don't really care, I've got my games.
Like, I'm not hyped for it at all. I don't know. I kind of like the fact that they brought in the typical like Tomb Raider gameplay kind of scenes in it. You know, where she has to. I think one of them she's shimmying across a fallen tree.
Oh yeah.
And then another one she's like going across the wing of an aeroplane.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, fine, that could make for some suspenseful scenes and all that, and you can do plenty of other things, but I also do wonder how long is that scene going to be? Right. Is that just part of a montage of her getting from point A to B, or are we going to have 5 minutes of her going, oh my god, I can't do this?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's like, I think that's pretty much it.
Because the one thing that bothered me with like the 2014 game was the fact that she like kills that guy and she's like, oh my god, I killed him, and then she's like killing 50 more people throughout the whole game, and she's like, I'm cool with this now.
Once you've done one, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm kind of wondering if we're gonna have that same kind of, she's gonna have that same mentality of, oh my god, I've killed a man. Right, get the AK out, get the hook out, time to kill some other... You know, I'm wondering if that's going to be... Because her friend, who's with her on the ship, he was firing that gun throughout the whole trailer. He did not put it down. I was like... I mean, he was the best part of the trailer for me. I was like, can we get a film about this guy? Because this guy was going Rambo on them. He was like jumping over shit, and he was like... No, that's... No. If he's in the film a lot, I'd watch it. Not in the cinema.
Yeah.
Pirate maybe, but you know.
I want to have a film where it's just Nick Frost being like a gun store owner.
Yeah, get him in like John Wick 3. You know what I mean?
That was the fucking weirdest scene to me. Like, I was like, oh hey Nick Frost, all of my immersion is broken, way more than it already was, and also this is a fucking fake ass beard. What is he doing?
Yeah, it was quite an immersion break. I mean, it's nice to see him. I think he definitely deserves to be in more films, but he maybe not as a clear character. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe he needs to be in something a little bit more comedy based or something a little bit more realistic, because Tomb Raider is just fantasy, simply put. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This film comes out.
Maybe he's trying to be like the comedy heel of the movie.
Well, he's obviously not going to be in the film. That's his only scene, I bet. And they probably only put that in there because they were like, remember, Tomb Raider or Lara Croft is English. That's probably the only reason why he's in there.
No, it turns out that he's the head bad guy at Trinity. I would fucking watch that in theaters if that happened.
Now that would be a twist. That would be good. No, I think they just put that in to be like, oh, we must remind the audience that this film has character and it's funny. While Laura murders everyone on an island. Whatever.
Well, murder can be fun.
It can be fun, but it depends on how... She's probably going to take it very seriously. Oh, you got answers about my dad. I'm going to kill you all. Fuck the tomb raiding. It's all about murder. Yeah, because I don't remember her saying, oh, we got to get the stone of magic or whatever. It was just like, oh, Trinity's going to beat us to the island. I'm like, okay, let them. You know, that's the funny thing about like a lot of the Tomb Raider games is there's always that random element of supernatural that just comes out of nowhere. Yeah. I'm wondering if that's going to be in here, or I'm wondering if the bad guy's just going to get possessed by a demon. It's like, oh no, I have to shoot him.
It's like Indiana Jones. That's
yeah.
I feel like that's a given. Like that's I don't feel bad that it's like, oh yeah, weather demon, cool.
Yeah, I mean.
Right. Immortal thing?
But I think with Indiana Jones, I think it's a little bit more established compared to Tomb Raider, because I think with some of the games, it comes out of nowhere. Okay, like, he may be like, oh, I'm after the Stone of Power, and then it's like, here's an ancient Japanese demon. And you're like, what? We're not even in Japan, you know?
I don't know. The fucking Ark of the... Like, I gotta disagree with you there, dude. At least the first two indies, you're like, wait, those rocks did something? Wait. The Ark of the Covenant fucking melted the Nazi faces?
Like, you should have known it should have been, like, something not of this world. I mean, they say that enough. But like I think, not Tomb Raider. Indiana Jones did it better, I would say.
Okay.
I'm not saying Indiana Jones didn't. I'm saying Tomb Raider it's just random compared to Indiana Jones. I mean, even Uncharted to some extent is random as well, where you don't expect there to be like mutated people in the first game, and you're like, what? When did this turn into a survival horror game? To some extent. But yeah, I think we've talked enough about Tomb Raider. Sticking with games, we finally have the most anticipated game of next year being Red Dead Redemption 2. Its second trailer, which Rockstar did a big whole, mark your calendars, here comes trailer 2. And I was pretty disappointed by this trailer for the most part. I wanted more story. I wanted more gameplay. Didn't really get it. I mean, the game looks nice. I'm not going to take that away from it. But, yeah. I don't know. What were you guys' thoughts on this trailer? It's like 1 minute 30 trailer.
See, I would have liked to have seen something that differentiated it from the first game.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know much about this. I don't know anything about this storyline, but it just seemed like the same game. There was nothing for me, and maybe they were. I don't know. Maybe it was development of the storyline, or maybe development of the characters in this game that differentiates it from the first one. But
yeah, I get what you mean, because I didn't look into it because I don't really listen to gaming journalist articles, but they were like, "Oh my god, this game has nothing to do with the first one," and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Why is it called 2 then? Or apparently it's a prequel or some shit like that. But yeah, I don't really understand that. That's the one thing I can't stand is when something's called 2 and it's a prequel.
Right. There was just nothing that made it like special.
The only thing I liked in this trailer was like when the guys were walking in the swamp.
Okay, yeah.
I liked that. That was cool.
And the crocodile bit.
Yeah, I thought that was like, oh wow, new environments. That's kind of cool. I don't know. I like swamps, and Louisiana is quite creepy. So, so when you base something there, then I'm pretty interested. Much like in Fallout 3 with Point Lookout, which is one of my favorite DLCs. It's like this weird swamp, mysterious area. I was like, yeah, But other than that, I mean, although it sounds kind of weird, it looks a lot like GTA 5. Which obviously is a given. They made GTA 5, but I was kind of hoping for a little bit more style and differentiation. Because, and there's a real lack of colour in this game as well. Like, the first game was like, had some pretty moments. Yeah. But this one is kind of like, I hope you guys are not going down the generic route with your third-person shooter about cowboys.
Exactly.
Oh, no. Terrets, have you played the first game?
I've played through the tutorial and then stopped, much like I did with GTA 4.
Understandable.
For whatever reason, Rockstar games, it's like, I'll be like, yeah, let's do it. And then I'll get sidetracked with all like the big side stuff, and then I'm like, I'm bored.
There's nothing that keeps you.
Boring. But from my understanding, it is a prequel about the gang that like ejected your character in the first game.
Oh, okay.
And like their stuff after that. I was gonna say the Bayou stuff and all that looked really different from all the stuff I saw of Red Dead, and I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I want to fucking trounce through shit as long as my movement isn't slowed to a fucking crawl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, let me move around like in Resident Evil 5 when we're in the fucking swamp and there are crocodiles.
It could definitely be like, I hope because I know based on how the game works, because you pretty much have almost like a continent to travel around, and you kind of move from continent to continent, spending a bit of time there. Hopefully we're there for a while in that kind of sense. Because one of my favorite aspects of like Red Dead Redemption was the fact that your main mode of transportation was on horseback, although you could get like a carriage and like fast travel or whatever, but I prefer to do horse travel, and just being able to travel from from where you started to how far you've gone to was interesting, because it actually did take quite a while to do, and I'm kind of hoping they do have the same kind of thing. And there's moments like that I like just walking around in Red Dead Redemption, play the story, and the story was fine, it was enjoyable and all that, but I think I just kind of like looking around the place, which is why I'm kind of a bit upset that it doesn't look great and I can't really see anything else that's going to make me go, oh man, I want to follow that story, and who's that and what's going on. It's kind of like, is it just GTA Cowboy? I hope not.
But maybe they did that on purpose. Like maybe they know that people know that's going to happen in this game anyway, so they just left out the trailer. I don't know. But I would have liked to see.
I mean, yeah, I can
more of that
understand
in
the
trailer.
teasing. Yeah, I'm not getting upset that the trailer didn't
yeah.
show me everything, but I'm just saying, like, you're still not showing me the gameplay.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my big thing for the most part. Yeah, I don't know. I know we probably just pissed off a lot of people because this is like the most overhyped game ever to some extent. Oh yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Red Dead Redemption was fine. Not fantastic. It was fine.
Louisiana too.
Oh no. No, they don't deserve that.
Louisiana's a spooky state. You fucking heard it.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that it's bad.
Raccoon hates Louisiana.
Oh, God.
Fuck him.
You're misquoting me.
Raccoon, I'll speak for you as I know you so well. Fuck him.
You do that. Let's move on to our next story. Let's take a break from trailers because this episode is mostly trailers for the most part, and we're gonna talk about.
I just noticed that.
Yeah, we're gonna take a little break, and we're gonna talk about well, we're gonna talk about politics, but we're not gonna talk about politics at the same time. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about Pepe the Frog, who unfortunately became a hate symbol thanks to the Anti-Defamation League, and given with a lot of association between pretty evil people. And unsurprisingly, the creator of the comic he originates from, Boys Club, Matt Foley, I'm not terribly sure how you say his name, has essentially been hardcore campaigning to try and get this character removed from obvious scum, and you know, the alt-right and all that kind of stuff, by essentially issuing out cease and desist and all manner of other ways to try and rid this negativity from, like, saying the character's dead to, like, trying to make, like, positive versions of the character, and, you know, just almost to the point of pleading. I mean, it's all in the well, some of the information is all in the article and all that stuff, so definitely check the description and the download link for that. But I mean, I kind of hope that he does succeed in a way, but at the same time, I'm very doubtful about it, given, like, the nature of the internet and how they just latch onto things. I mean, I guess the main question I want to ask is, like, is he doing, like, the right thing in some sense, or should you just, like, give up on it?
I think he's doing the right thing.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, Pepe, like, I don't know, his expressions were supposed to be fun.
Yeah, he was originally just a meme, and now he's just been destroyed for the most
exactly.
part.
Now it's just turned into, like, chaos.
Yeah.
I think he's got, like, every right to...
Oh yeah,
make those...
yeah. I think he does have the right, because I mean, it's his creation, and I do feel sorry for the guy that he's unfortunately responsible for what many people might consider, you know, the face of the alt-right movement, which is not something you want to be responsible for. But you know,
or associated with.
Like, yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously that was never his intention. Yeah. Of course, he just made this, you know, weird comic about like 4 guys, and one of them just happened to be like an anthropomorphic frog, and then people just somehow latched onto that and just it spiraled big time out of control. It's ridiculous. I mean, you were gonna say something, Terrets?
Yeah, just to say, I got 2 things real fast.
Yeah.
One, before all this controversy happened, I assumed this was like an ancillary character from SpongeBob. I always assumed like that he was just like one of the like the My Leg guy maybe, or somebody.
Oh, I can understand that. Yeah.
Like I didn't realize it was from like its own thing.
No,
and
not as I.
For what it's worth, I have never seen like it being alt-right stuff. Like the only time I ever see it is when is with a emote on Twitch that's feels bad man.
Yeah, I mean, because
sympathy one.
I can understand.
I've never seen alt-right shit with it, and that's like it's still kind of weird to me that is a thing apparently.
Yeah, because like as we said before, he was originally, you know, a meme with the whole like, "It's alright, man," and you know, "Sad Pepe" and "My Rare Pepes" and all that kind of stuff. He was originally a meme, and to an extent he still is. But I think with him literally being branded like a hate symbol, you know, and officially having that connection, I think most people nowadays would see him as that for the most part associated, because I believe some people do really latch onto him as that, and some
Yeah.
people really do latch onto him as a joke, as a meme, you know, to some extent. So I can understand why you would say you don't see that as him, because not everyone does. I'm pretty sure there are people who are part of that movement who don't associate him with what they're about. But I think it's the issue is that he's been, stamped and approved. This is to some extent the face of this, which is what is unfortunate. You don't want that.
Because it's so serious as well. It's like, oh.
Yes, it's unfortunately a big deal. I mean, when we had that presidential race, and then other people were latching onto that as a way to mock and diminish other people, was just fucking annoying for the most part. But I mean, like I said, I really do hope he does get it back. I do unfortunately think it is a bit of a losing battle. I mean, it is unfortunate. I mean, because eventually those comics are going to disappear soon, because you can't exactly keep printing symbols of hate. But it is sad. I mean, what do you think, Terrets? Do you think he should continue to fight for his character, or just give it up?
I think it might be a losing battle, but I don't have a problem with him trying.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's kind of odd to say, but I am kind of ambivalent towards it, because again, I've never seen this character as like a hate symbol.
Yeah.
So it's odd to like have people like react to it like that, and like it's one of those things where it seems like it's coming out of nowhere. I haven't ever like looked into it to like be like, yes, this is specifically when I search for it when it's a hate symbol.
Yeah.
I assumed I would have seen it by now, and since I haven't, I don't believe it's blown out of proportion, but I believe it's more of a 4chan thing.
It is. It is.
4chan's already a fucking cesspool. So.
Yeah. Of course, I think the issue is, and why people keep bringing it up, is because it has and hasn't been blown out of proportion to some extent. Like, I don't think they should have, classified that as a hate speech. It was just people freaking out. That's all. Which it's just unfortunate. I mean, yeah, I do hope. I mean, yeah, well, like we say, I have no problem with him at least trying to fight to get his character back, because it's his property. But I do worry for the guy. That's all, because I'm just worried that people are only going to make things worse because of that. There are people who are like, oh man, I need my meme back, but at the same time, there are less educated people who are going to go, oh man, that's the face of the alt-right. You need to get rid of. That's the problem I have with it.
Even if he does win, like, it's still gonna have that image. Like, the image is still tarnished.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean. Yeah, it's just weird how people latch on to like the tiniest things. It's just, it started with one guy reading the comic and going like, wow, this is funny, and look where the fuck it is now.
Yeah, so, I didn't know it started in 2005.
Yeah,
like, what? It was like 2012 or something.
Yeah, the comic is like fairly old now. I mean, I see it all the while, and it's just like, I don't know. It's weird how things go. Let's move on then. Back to trailers. Good stuff. Yeah. And Recess, I believe you have the next trailer.
So yeah, Isle of Dogs.
Woo!
Firstly, I want to say it looks sick.
Yes.
Like, it looks amazing.
Yeah. Yes. I think I kind of speak for everyone here. I was not expecting this trailer.
Not at all.
I mean, I knew that Wes Craven was making the film. I knew it was going to be stop motion. I knew it was called Isle of Dogs. I knew that some of the cast was in it, but I wouldn't have predicted what was actually going to be in this film, what it was going to be about. I mean, yeah, I would not have suspected the plot to be about future Japan essentially solving the population problem by essentially outlawing dogs with, canine flu, and just dumping them on a designated island. Like, I wouldn't have come up with that, but then at the same time, how would you come up with that? Like,
yeah, why would you think that? Yeah.
It's too original. It's so bizarre. Obviously, it's got like his Wes Anderson signature style, and it's just perfectly framed, and obviously like perfectly animated for stop motion as well. But like, I almost can't get over this trailer. And
even like the first, 20, 30 seconds of the trailer, you don't quite get what it's about. It looks like a slow movie.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, it suddenly turns into like what could be like an action-packed like.
Yeah,
film.
I mean, this is meant to be a comedy adventure. Doesn't look it. I mean, the joke's obviously not for children, and I mean, even if you look at the poster, it looks like it's some kind of commentary or documentary in some kind of weird sense, and it's just like, the fuck is going on here? Like, as I said, I could have never predicted this. It's too strong for the most part, and I'm so glad, obviously, it's got the attention and all that, because Wes Anderson has proven himself to be a quite prolific director and writer, given any of his other films. I would love
to see Wes Craven direct this.
I'd love to see him do a voice on this. Yeah, I get them mixed up. I also get W.S. Anderson mixed up with Wes Anderson as well. But obviously only one director is good out of those two. But yeah, general thoughts, I mean, are just amazing. I mean, Terrets?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this. I didn't know what was up. I didn't know. I hadn't heard of this, and then it was just oh, Reddit and did a new trailer. Cool. Wes Craven or Wes fucking A. You got me doing it. Wes Anderson, cool. I'll watch it. And I was all right. And then the dogs started showing them. I was all right, I like dogs. This will work. And then the little fucking Afro kid was I think I got a crush on you. I'm fuck, that's charming. All right, let's go. I'm in. I'm watching it. I got this. And then the rest of the trailer was pretty good. I think it's surprising how fucking Phil it is, and specifically Yoko Ono is in this movie, and that is super interesting to me.
I wanted to quickly go over the very interesting and massive voice cast. I'm not going to mention everyone, but just a few names that people will definitely recognize and remember. So you got Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Bill Murray, Jeff Goldblum, Ken Watanabe. Let's just see. I'm just trying to go through as many as I can. Scarlett Johansson's in there. Tilda Swinton. Yoko Ono's already been mentioned. F. Murray Abraham. Frank Wood. I mean, it's a bizarre as hell cast, but it's it's really cool at the same time. I mean, Bill Murray is obviously a given, but just wow. I mean, you don't even know who it was. I mean, I could probably look and see who's playing who, but not even all their characters have been confirmed, which is pretty cool. So it's going to be a big surprise when the film finally comes out in, I believe, March next year. Yeah. And I'm going to say it now with fingers crossed and hoping that this is probably going to be one of the best films of 2018, hopefully. That's what I got my money on.
But Raccoon, what about the Han Solo Star Wars, a Disney story?
How could I forget, Tourette's, my favourite film of 2018? It's going to be so good. I'm going to see it twice.
It was so good that they wanted to bring in teachers so the teachers could learn from the students.
Yeah.
I think that's what I read anyway.
This film is going to be so good that we're going to study it in schools.
So good that the directors felt too ashamed to continue it and left 90% of the way through the shooting. And they got Ron Howard.
Yeah, they were literally Howard. We've done our job. Now it's for everyone else to learn how we mastered this. That's they were being humble about it.
Yeah, they just needed so much time to work on the Lego Movie too.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, we can talk about that dead. Well, they're going to be dropping a trailer soon for that, which is going to be amazing in so many ways. Oh gosh, but yeah. Have we finished gushing over Isle of Dogs? Do we still need to do that?
It definitely sounds like you just said, I love dogs.
Who doesn't love dogs? I think most people do. I mean,
that's a good one.
I mean, I like dogs as animals, but not as pets.
I think it might be intentional because that's the theme of the thing.
Oh yeah, obviously. Perhaps, I mean, one of the main plots is the kid literally just builds a spaceship to find his dog, which is incredibly awesome. And you got all this shadiness with the Japanese government being we can't have this, we're obviously hiding something, which is funny as hell. I'm glad they actually specified that it's future Japan. That was also a good move. Yeah. But yeah, amazing. This film's gonna be strong. I think it's definitely gonna be one of those films, much like my theory with Baby Driver, with no matter what happens, there's going to be something that's going to be amazing in it. Even if, let's say, this or that doesn't work or whatever. It's going to be strong in some way, no matter what happens.
speaking of Baby Driver,
Yeah.
I found my segue.
Yes, you did.
The person who built the Punisher trailer definitely saw Baby Driver's trailer.
That's a good. Yeah. 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 I guess you could say that. I'm just realizing and agreeing with you right now.
Yeah, because the next little bit, unless anybody else had something to say on Isle of Dogs.
No, I think we're good.
I figured that would be like the best segue because I was gonna bring it up.
No, go with it. Go with it, man.
Trailer for the Netflix show is like all like themed to music and shit, just like Baby Driver's trailer, and fuck, it looks good. Like they were like, there's like one or two things I didn't super love, but like the fucking trailer, like that. I think it's good that we're in a thing because I don't think I'm ever gonna get tired to this sort of trailer. Because I think there's just so much that like needs to be done to it. There's so much time and energy that needs to be done into it to make it look like that it won't ever get like stale.
No, it shouldn't do because it's like a way of editing. If you're going to go and use music, that is endless. You know what I mean? You can experiment so many ways with it. I'm pretty sure Edgar Wright, when filming certain scenes, and I'm sure he had like songs in mind. He might have had like 10 to 20 songs in mind. Watch it over. Does it work with this song? No. Does it work with that song? No. Does it work with this song? Yes. But also so that you can essentially build a perfect feel to like the visual and the music side of things. It's something that I think he definitely deserves praise for redoing and bringing back into the mainstream if it does become a bigger deal now. Which I'm glad you brought that up with this trailer. But yeah, tight trailer though.
Yeah.
Don't understand why they're hiding the release date, but
I think it's just another thing to get people hyped. Like I don't think it necessarily is like it is. They're not saying it yet, but I don't think it's necessarily hidden.
But it's like they had that little graphics where they hit the exact date, and I'm like, I don't really need it. I know it's coming out in 3 weeks' time, so.
Yeah. Is it? Fuck.
It most likely is. There's less than 20 weeks left of the year, so yeah. Damn. It's got to come out sometime. But I like the character of the Punisher because unlike a lot of Marvel characters, he's actually kind of interesting, and and I know this might sound kind of messed up, but I think just the shot where his wife's head gets blown up just established the mood perfectly for me. I was just like, yep, okay, we're not we're not skipping anything.
It also established your erection.
Yes. No, but it was definitely like just to reassure the audience. Yes, this is going to be the gritty, dark, and violent series that I think most of you want.
I hope it's dark. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, no, go on.
I'm not a fan of the Marvel Netflix original series. Like, I haven't really enjoyed any of them.
Have you watched?
Not even like Daredevil.
No, not even Daredevil.
Oh wow.
I think I watched 2 episodes of Daredevil. I think that's been literally it for everything. Luke Cage, 2 episodes. What was it? Jessica Jones, 2 episodes. Iron Fist, no. I don't know. It's just, it seems as there's something missing.
Okay.
In them. I don't know if I just want something darker or something a bit more gritty.
Because I would imagine, maybe, Terrets, you could back me up on this statement, like Daredevil is fairly dark to some extent.
Yeah. Daredevil, you get a guy, a guy's head smashed in the car door.
Okay.
Like, Daredevil gets fucked up.
Yeah, I can imagine, but like...
maybe I just need to factor in time.
Maybe you want like a darker film rather than series or something like that. Or maybe the structure of having like a long superhero event doesn't work for you. I mean, I can understand that. But, so I guess the question could be, does this series even interest you? You want to give this one a chance?
I was biased throughout the whole trailer.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, really? Another one?
Dish old shtick.
So I think, I don't know. I think if any of them, I would give Daredevil another go.
Okay, interesting. Interesting.
So the problem with Daredevil is it's the same problem with all fucking of them. Even Defenders, it's that they're fucking bloated. There's like 2 episodes too much.
Right.
Okay.
Because like towards the end, there's 2 episodes of just like nothing happening. Jessica Jones, she catches Kilgrave like fucking 15 times.
Technical difficulties there. Continue what you're saying, Terrets.
Yeah, sorry about that. So Luke Cage, great like first half, I think, personally.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just gets a little like there's a build up in the last like 5 episodes, and like 2 of them are nothing, and you fucking cut them and nothing changes, and then it just fizzles the fuck out, and it's really frustrating.
Right.
Iron Fist has like everything about it for fucking Iron Fist and his girlfriend. Like the family relationship of like the like basically the B plot is fucking great.
Okay.
And I really like all the actors in that. And then Daredevil season 2 has the Punisher, which is all the Punisher bits are fucking great. But it also has Elektra, who is fucking terrible.
She can't catch a break. She's only famous for being killed.
And she's back in the Defenders, and she's fucking terrible in that too.
Oh, gee. So I guess, give it, because I mean, I'm the one guy who has never watched any of the Marvel Netflix TV series. I mean, I kind of want to get into them, but like, I was just more, I don't have Netflix, and I was just more frustrated that I couldn't get the DVDs for the longest time.
Right.
But I guess, given both your guys' issues with the series, would the solution really be for shorter seasons, do you think? Like, literally just trim the fat, get to the point, even if it's just 4 episodes.
I think I prefer that.
Yeah?
I think they should, because they're normally like 13-ish episodes.
Yeah.
I think if they cut it down to like 9 or 10, I think it would be a lot tighter.
Definitely, because if they're more structured and more compact, just to be like something's happening every episode, you know, something that makes you go, whoa, that was the you know, something like that, I guess. But I mean, it doesn't look like I think Punisher's going to, you know, do what we're essentially suggesting, but it still does look good. I think it's something that we do need. We do need more variety. I mean, comic book films and TV series, whether you want to admit it or not, they are stale, and they're going to get stale. You need to kind of keep evolving and stepping on. It's not just a case of we'll have a lead female superhero. No, that's not going to work. Yeah, because audience will still get bored, pretty much. But having someone like Frank Castle, a character who's the good guy, but he's really not the good guy. I mean, he's going out killing people, and he's taking that drug money, you know, and he's, you know, he is essentially like Batman to some extent, or Red Hood if you want to be more technical, which I think is pretty cool, given how he's just some guy. And I kind of always like in stories where it's always some guy who has a reason for doing something with no like supernatural powers or that kind of stuff. I do kind of like, and even with this season, kind of having the whole revenge, vigilante crime, you know, kind of theme, although it's played out, I think it should and could work with Punisher here. I mean, I'm optimistic for it, I would say.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the guy who's playing Punisher, perfect casting, I must say.
He puts his all into it anyway.
He puts his all into pretty much everything he's in.
Yeah, true.
So I think when I initially saw that he was going to be Punisher, I was like, yes, perfect. But yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Final trailer.
1922.
1922.
So yeah, interesting. I think
we need to state, because this is somewhat of a running joke of the last, let's just say, year. Another film in the Steven-verse, the Steven universe, if you want, patent pended. We coined that term. Just so you can go back on the podcast that's actually titled Steven-verse. We have that copyright. So, King, if you want that, you can pay us. Come on, you know.
Nice.
But yeah, go on what you were saying.
So yeah, family divide turns evil, kind of thing. So what, basically, there's a wife and husband and their child living in, is it the countryside?
Must be, yeah.
It's like just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing the wife wants to go, I don't know, to a more populated area.
If I remember, because I don't really like to read in plots, but obviously for the podcast I did, I think what happens in this film is the wife is like, oh, I want to sell off the farm and all that, and, you know, kind of do something else, start different. And obviously the husband's like, no. He's like, fuck no.
We're fine as we are.
So I guess he just decides, I'll kill the bitch. Like you do.
And then it just takes that turn. It's like, oh, she's dead. Okay.
Like I legit thought it was going to be, because there's one scene where I think like the walls cracking, and I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be the whole thing of like, I forget what it is, but it's like when they hide the body in the house and like the floorboards start like acting. I thought it was going to be like that.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought it was going to be something like that, and I was like, oh, that could be really cool. You could do something really fucked up where like the house becomes like a living thing or some creepiness like that. But it's like, no, just dash her down the well and she's a zombie now.
It's the telltale rat raccoon.
I know, but at the same time, I was just like, could have done something a bit more with that. Yeah, I was very underwhelmed by it. I get very...
No.
It's really interesting to me that Stephen King is having such a resurgence.
I would say a
Yeah.
forced resurgence, yes.
Because it's it. There's a Mist TV
Yeah.
series coming out, I believe, or
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
come out.
Yes.
And this morning or last night, I saw that Netflix did another one of his things.
Really?
It's the story about like a struggling couple go out for like a weekend
Gerald's
getaway.
Game.
Yeah, Joe's Game.
It is
Alright.
Gerald's Game we're talking about, isn't it?
It's the one where like she kicks him in the balls and he dies on top of her when she's like handcuffed.
Yeah, it's Gerald's Game, yeah.
yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming out like almost like we've talked about one almost 2 weeks in a row now to some extent. Yeah, literally we talked about Gerald's Game. And I mean, ironically, the Steven universe is becoming very saturated already because he's you can technically go watch 2 of his films right now. 3 if you can still probably catch The Dark Tower. If you're lucky in this country, you could probably still catch that right now.
Oh yeah, good point.
Which is, I think, just a bit ridiculous. I mean, granted, Stephen King has tons of books. He has like a good
Hundreds.
catalog. Yes, he has a good catalog of stuff. Some of it great, some of it not so great.
Yeah.
But I
Bit
mean,
hit and miss.
yeah, I mean, when we get to the whole like killer cars and it's sort of like Cujo, I don't know. But like,
What about Cujo 2?
it's time to talk about Cujo too. Didn't he also do Pet Cemetery as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did Pet Cemetery. Yeah. Shawshank. What's the other? The Green Mile? Yes, they should never remake that. Yeah, he's got tons of films, and I get really annoyed because it's like I love Stephen King, but it's like this forced cinematic universe, and this forced everything has to tie into things, and we need to remake every film now, and this is tiring. It's just like, why? Like, take your time with it a bit more, if anything. Like, really work on it, or just don't do it, or write some new stuff. I would have no issue with Stephen King doing a TV series about like his stuff. Oh, wait a minute, he is doing a TV series about a crime investigation drama thing. Oh, wait, that's going to be coming to Netflix or whatever it is soon. It's just like, oh, I'm sick of it already.
See, before this podcast, like I knew the Stephen King stuff was coming out, but I didn't realise how much of it we were getting.
Yeah, if you look
Until
at
now.
all of it, it's just like so much. And like even then, when we did Gerald's Game, I was like, "Oh, we're done now." And it's like, no, we got 1922, and who know, they're probably going to confirm Misery next month, the
Don't
remake.
touch Misery.
Yeah, you better not touch that. It's frustrating. I mean, because we pretty much already talked about the trailer. Because is it much else to say? The zombie wife.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. But
Zombie
yeah.
wife, zombie life.
Yeah, and also thanks for ruining the end of the film, guys.
You're welcome.
Because that's the end of the film.
So there's no progression. There's no...
Kind of. It's not like how the film ends, but it's like, let's just say it's the climax.
Okay.
Is seen in there, and it's very obvious.
Oh,
Man,
wow.
I don't know why the way you said it like that is like I thought it was now it sounds like there's gonna be a zombie sex scene at the end of the fucking movie. Like that's the climax. It's not really, but it's right there, and they're in the bedroom.
You didn't see it, but I was raising my eyebrow when I said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Next week we're probably gonna be talking about more stuff from the Steven universe, so we'll see. But that is a nice segue to our discussion, which is actually was titled "The Rise and Fall of Low Budget Horror Films," and I thought, as soon as it was October, let's actually discuss horror films, but more specifically, kind of like the rise of like the low budget horror slasher film that we kind of saw in the late 2000s, and kind of that rise, and kind of basically talk about some of our favorites, whether good or bad, and kind of talk about how they've either stayed good or become bad, and just generally kind of give people, maybe they haven't heard of some things, or just kind of throw someone's out there. So I guess I can look around and say, does anyone want to kind of talk about any film or film franchise they want to kind of discuss regarding this discussion for the most part? Anyone want to start?
I think it's an interesting thing to bring up that the low budget horror films are the most successful low budget genre.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting because a lot of horror is show don't tell. It's what you make up in your mind.
Exactly.
I think that's where it excels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And seeing a fucking creepy clown is not as creepy as hearing a fucking like the Day at the Circus music and like seeing a shadow.
Yeah.
True.
And I think that is why movies like Saw happened.
Yeah.
And if you want me to fucking talk about like actual movies, the Saw series, all fucking 6 of them are amazing.
Yeah.
I love them.
Given what? Yeah. No, go on.
They turn into schlock, and I love schlock so much.
Yeah. It's a very nice decline or incline, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said this before already. Like the Saw franchise is guilty pleasure of mine. I love the Saw films. I love all of the films, and I remember kind of growing up and like literally, reading the film magazines, just turn the page. Oh man, Saw 5's out, Saw 6 is out, and then reading they filmed it in a month and it's ready for cinemas straight away.
Well,
It's just like, had a tiny budget, but they were able to make a decent film for the most part. And I think even the first film, which takes place in like a policeman's office, Jigsaw's warehouse, and a bathroom room, and they managed to create a success out of that. I mean, it's a great film. And I mean, it's interesting how it went from there, to kind of becoming sillier and kind of taken, treated, seriously. And you got like, and you speak to some of the Saw fans, and they're like hardcore back in the day. It's what's going to happen?
Yeah.
They're going to get Jigsaw, that kind of stuff, which I think is great. And that was kind of like the start of this rise of the low budget for the most part. And you got to give them respect for that. I don't think that was ever their intention, because obviously Hollywood just follows trends, but given what they accomplished at that time was, great for them. And I mean, they went on to do some not so great things, like Insidious, which, every time I talk about Insidious, I always have the one thing to say, and that's I'm not scared of Darth Maul. That's why the film doesn't work for him. I'm not scared of him. I mean, I like when they go in the other world, that's kind of cool, but I'm not scared of Darth Maul, simply put. And it's a shame that we're on Insidious 4 now.
Yeah.
I think it's 4.
Yeah, 4th coming out, right?
Yeah, was it called The Key something?
Something like that.
It's called something The Key.
With the creepy hand and the keys.
Yeah, and I was like,
yeah,
what is going on? What is up with this specific demon? Why does he need like keys in the end of his nail? What's going on?
I don't know. Like, the things with the Insidious movies, I think it's a good mix of jump scares and then like comical elements as well. Well, what I find comical, the Darth Maul scene was comical. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I was just like, bro, just turn around.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm just a bit like skeptical as to how far it will go. I think they should stop it at 4. I don't think it needs to go any further than that.
Depends if people go and see this one.
Well, that's the thing. Then yeah, they're gonna have 4, 5, 6, 7.
So I guess that's also an interesting question with these franchises as well. Is when they kind of get so many, is like when is the right time to stop?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at a few of them. I mean, Saw has, I believe, 7 films, not including Jigsaw. Because that could be 8. Paranormal Activities, I believe that's 6.
I couldn't even keep up with those.
I think it's 6. It's 1, 2, 3, marked ones, and Ghost Dimension. I think that's all of them. So that's a bit much, and even then, because the last two haven't been so great, even they've kind of been like, slow it down a little bit,
Finally.
Oh yeah, I mean, because even that film, that was the film that killed Saw pretty much. It was like the one that beat it to the the most successful thing, because people, it was like super low budget, and it only had like one scare in it, really, and that was just some idiot running up to the camera. But I mean, I don't know. I don't see Insidious going past 5. I think there will be another one. but it's gonna get a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
To
I think if the creativity is there, then fair enough.
But was it always there?
But well,
See, that's the question, because, I mean, like I said, the idea of how they did that ghost world dimension was cool. I like how it looked, I like how it didn't really make much sense. It didn't really have any walls or boundaries. That was cool, but then you, like, have the second film, and it's, like, a prequel to the first film, and you're like, what? Like, let's focus on the old lady. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, then. She's, like, the main character now. I mean, no disrespect to her, but
yeah,
like, okay. Because I usually say people don't really want to see old people in horror films, especially if they're the main character. So that's why It Chapter 2 is going to have a hard time. I mean, obviously they're not going to be old people, but trust me, they're not going to be playing their age.
Yeah.
Simply put. But yeah, let me talk about one real quick. One that I really like, which was kind of like after, and was kind of like little high budget, but it had like, you read the budget and you're like, oh wow, it made it for like so cheap, and that's like the Conjuring series.
Oh yeah.
Because the Conjuring film got me.
Yeah.
I was like, some of the scenes and some of the shots in that were pretty upsetting, in a good way, obviously. I remember watching it. I think one a late night with my friend, and I think I was enjoying it. It was pretty spooky, and I think it was the one shot where have you guys seen The Conjuring?
Yep.
Okay, it's the one shot where like she's doing the like the laundry, and then like the sheet falls on the ghost right there.
Okay.
I literally, because I think my friend's mum was in there, I was like, yo, oh my god, let me see that again. I was freaking out at that bit, because I was like, that's so good. Well, I thought that shot was good. But yeah, the whole film I thought was strong.
Yeah,
like
very strong.
like surprisingly strong. Like, I mean, I haven't seen all of the second film because it got a bit silly.
Well, exactly.
Because I mean, when you see that teaser trailer and you see like the crosses turning, I was like, okay, that's kind of creepy. But then it was actually like pause, wait for it, jump scare. I was like, no, don't be doing that. I mean, you could do like 50 Conjuring because it's based on like, the two real people, but it's just like, ugh. But instead you want to follow Annabelle.
Well, see, that's what I think they've been really clever with that, because as you were saying, like the second one got a bit silly. If it was just a Conjuring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would definitely get bored.
Okay.
I think they've been clever in the fact that they've like split it up in terms of going into the Annabelle dimension, and then they've got the Nun next year. I think I want to watch the Nun.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're going with it. I don't know. I think that's quite a tactical move.
I mean, I guess
think generally people would have just got.
Because I guess because you got a little bit more variety compared to like, Paranormal Activities, but I don't know. I kind of just want the investigation of those two people, because I mean, if you look at what the original Annabelle doll was just a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
That like moved.
Yeah.
And that's how the story ends. It like moved. I think they put it outside and it was somehow back in the house. And then they were like, "Oh, get this shit out of here," you know. But yeah. I mean, it's actually a good point you've raised. I mean, cleverly kind of working with a franchise, but I don't know. I just want another film to be as strong as Conjuring. And there have been other films in recent years. I mean, you look at films like, a lot of people like Lights Out.
Right.
That's one that people really liked, although I still haven't seen it yet. Maybe need to get to it. It Follows as well. That was a very lo-fi, stylistic, like horror film with a really unique concept, which I think I may have said this on the podcast, or I think on our review, when I saw that with Ace, when we were coming out the cinema, we were constantly looking behind us.
No.
Because we were a bit freaked out. I mean, granted, it was getting like kind of dark, and like we had to walk to the bus stop, and we were like, constantly looking back. We were just like, all right, we're just a bit freaked out.
It was a freaky movie.
It was.
It
is effective, and I think it's definitely going to be a film that over time is going to really resonate with people. I think, much like with Don't Breathe as well. I want another one I saw quite recently, which is very enjoyable. They're doing a sequel and a remake to that, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, there's going to be a sequel to Don't Breathe, and the remake, I believe, don't 100% quote me, it's going to be an Indian remake.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
Okay.
They just are, but...
Bollywood, man.
I guess, maybe. But what was interesting was when they were asking about the sequel, Sam Raimi, who produced it, he was saying, it's the best fucking idea I've ever heard.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, fair enough.
Wow.
No idea what it could be about, but I trust Sam Raimi.
I'm here for that.
Speaking of Sam Raimi, Evil Dead. And where Evil Dead has gone, you should know about this.
Boom. See, I don't know. The first two were amazing. Third one, nah. That was too much.
You mean Army of Darkness? Because it never was Evil Dead 3.
Well, yeah, technically a different movie, right? I don't know. That was just amazing. It was fun.
The remake.
Like, no, sorry, the originals.
Okay,
the originals were fun.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Absolutely great. The remake was better than I thought.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I enjoyed the remake.
Because we went to see the remake, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And we had fun. And I remember literally being in the cinema, and I think it was us, Ace, and Ferret, or maybe no, it was Obsidian and Ferret, I believe it was, who was with us when we went to go see it. And I remember there was like some noisy girls in the back who were like chatting, and as soon as that first scare came, they would shut the fuck up quickly. Because that film was quite frightening. Because I was more frightened as to like, what the fuck are they going to do next?
Yeah.
Because people just, oof. It was a strong film, and even you could probably speak about the TV series as well, Ash vs. the Evil Dead, which has been pretty good so far.
I just think there's just the right balance. Like, there's amazing amount of blood, gore, and like demon possession. Like, anyone who loves that will love those movies. Like, they can't go wrong. They're
what I consider a classic horror film.
Yeah.
You can fight me on that if you want. Terrets, haven't really heard from you. Let's come back to you.
See, that's the thing. I'm not a big horror guy. I'm a fucking baby. I got a few, and I'd like to talk about.
Oh, please share.
Like, my most recent one is Little Evil, which came out this year.
Oh, okay.
It's straight to Netflix.
Yeah.
And it's like The Omen as a comedy movie.
Okay,
but it's still super fucking creepy. And it had like a budget of like $7 million. So it was like still like super low budget. And then like even fucking like Get Out had like a $4 million budget.
Yeah, it was
super cheap.
Tiny.
And that was fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Get Out was a great film if you want to call it a horror film. I don't quite call it a horror film, but I'm fine with people saying that. But yeah. Very strong film, one of the strongest films. I mean, Jordan Peele's like first director-based film, and that film. Yeah, I can see that film becoming like an iconic one. Yeah. As well. I mean, people already like kind of make a bit of a meme out of it. You know, I've sent people a reaction gif of just screaming "Get out!" you know, and stuff like that. But I mean, that's a strong film. I'm trying to think of some others. Which
It Follows.
Was
another
one.
It
Follows was great.
With the STD demon.
Yeah, STD ghost demon thing. Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Did you guys see It Comes at Night?
It Comes at Night. No, I still haven't seen that.
I really enjoyed that.
I've pre-ordered the Blu-ray.
Okay.
Because I'm like, come on. I missed it because like it was one of those cases where we only really talk about this at the end of the year podcast when we talk about our films because we have to because we're usually talking about 2016 films and that. But it was like in cinemas for 1 week where I could see it.
Oh.
And it was like gone the next day, and I was like, oh, okay.
That's a shame.
But that was one I did want to see. But good things?
Yeah, very, like, not what I was expecting. I thought it would be like full of blood and gore and all of that jazz, and it wasn't. It was psychological in a way. Very ominous. I think the scariest thing was like the red door at the end of the corridor.
Oh yeah,
it gets you, like it does.
They kept showing that, and it was just like, don't open that door.
Yeah, it was a cool movie.
It was great. I think the other one I want to talk about, what was it? Another film, one of my favourite films of last year, which is low budget, The Witch. Or The Vivitch.
Yeah, amazing.
If you want to say it correctly, yeah.
Creepy.
Yes, that was some strong horror right there.
Yep.
Ooh, I watched that late at night, and I regretted it.
I was like, why did I do this?
I kind of had the same feeling when when Silent Hills like PT came out, and I watched someone play it, and I think when it got to one point in it, and I was like, I've made a terrible mistake. Yeah. I just turned it off and went to bed because I was like, oh my god, that is horrible. But The Witch is fantastic. I know the director, that's his first film he directed. He did a short, but it's his first feature length, and I think he did that on 5 million, which is crazy. I believe he's doing the remake of Nosferatu, so I can't think of anyone perfect for that film.
Wow.
Which is great. Let me quickly.
It's gonna be dark.
If you've seen the original Nosferatu, which is fantastic,
I haven't. No, I haven't.
You need to watch. It's like 40
it's
minutes.
super creepy.
Yeah, it's like messed up. Like
Boy.
it's like because I was like, I forget the exact year, but that was early film. Early film.
30s, I think.
Yeah, 1930 or something like that. Let me think. I know I'm quickly trying to move between the mic and not like sound weird. I'm trying to remember that one film I just got in my head.
Sinister?
Sinister? Yeah, we
Sinister.
could do. I haven't actually seen Sinister.
I haven't either. It's just on the list of shit he sent me. So I was just like, maybe it's this one.
Yeah, no, but I was like, that was just like to help this discussion go through. But yeah, we can talk about Sinister. The thing about Sinister is I like how they made the film.
Yeah.
I don't like the film.
Okay.
Just weird. Like the way they did it on such a budget was kind of interesting. I believe they, I might get my facts wrong. They actually legit used the real house and they like rebuilt sets on top of the house. So it was like a real house that they kind of made like a Frankenstein house. They opted for not using like a set and just were like, oh, we're just gonna build this Franken house. We just bought a house and just like, let's do all this. And I mean, the concept I think is great.
Yeah.
You know, seeing this weird ghost Bagul in like the photos and some of the shots they did with him was great. But I think it was ultimately spoilt with a lot of the jump scares.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the film was ruined because of like the 3 obnoxious ones, where it was like the demon wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
To some extent, and I was just kind of like, ugh, why you do this to me?
Were you thinking of 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Oh god. Okay, I say oh god like I didn't like 10 Cloverfield Lane. I loved 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
But it was the ending that I didn't like.
Oh, okay.
I think
the ending was awesome.
I hated the ending.
I think the ending was good for a different movie.
Yeah, it was, to me it felt like, Cloverfield? Remember Cloverfield? And I didn't like that. Like, I mean, you can have, like, let's not spoil it because it's still, like, a fairly new film. Like, you can have that happen, but the whole sequence of events just didn't work for me. I would rather we see that and then we just move on.
Right.
You know, we just establish it, that's still a thing, and then we just move on. I'm trying not to spoil exactly what happens. I hope, hopefully you guys know what I mean, or everyone who's seen the film. I think that would have been a much stronger ending if we just like, let's just go.
Just glance at it and leave.
Yeah.
See, I would have preferred if it just wasn't in it. I prefer the mystery, like. Yeah,
because it was strung up until that point, and it was like a tiny film. I believe the original film was The Bunker.
Okay.
Until they like turned it into a Cloverfield film, and you know, just the 3 people in a bunker, something's gone wrong. You know, that was great. You know, real horror in such a confined and tiny space works so well. Just like a shame with the ending and that. Oh boy.
Were you thinking of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies?
Oh my god.
That's another film that came and went.
Yeah.
That was in cinemas for like a week and then it was gone.
I didn't even give that film a chance.
Yeah.
No, I was like.
The books are good.
From what I've heard, I mean, it's a great concept.
Yeah.
I'll give it that, but it's like the poster didn't sell me on that. I like the subtlety of the front cover of the book, which is literally, the portrait with her like jaw fallen off. I thought that was great.
Oh, okay.
That establishes the whole story and the whole concept. But them with the crossbows and the guns and all that rubbish, I was like, not really.
It's a bit overplayed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have intentions of seeing the film. But yeah. I'm trying to think of the last few horror films that kind of fit under this. I know we got the Babadook, which was great. That was very interesting. Babadook was enjoyable. I liked that one. Oh man, I'm drawing for a blank here.
Zombies?
The what, sorry?
Zombies?
Zombies?
I haven't even heard of that one.
Yeah. It's a movie where zoo animals turn into zombies.
Oh, wow.
How new is it?
Yeah. It came out last year.
Oh, no, I've never heard of this one.
No.
Oh, it's so bad, dude. I love it. It's my favorite.
So with the zombie animals, do they use CGI or practical effects?
Mostly CG, but there is some practical.
Okay.
The stinger for the fucking poster, it's Jurassic World of the Dead.
No.
And also Uncaged Undead.
Yeah. That's kind of gross.
I prefer that one though than this.
I don't know. But yeah, I think unless there's any others we want to throw in there, I mean, we can easily come back to this discussion next podcast because I mean, based on how this,
you got like the fucking worst guy on for it, man. I'm
no,
sorry.
well, yeah, I mean, I'm no, well, I mean, it's fine having you and all that. I mean, I'm not gonna, this podcast wasn't picked and structured, for people based just on the discussion. I don't do that. We all get together to have fun, but yeah, we obviously we're going to keep all the next 2 discussions in October horror-esque to some extent. But yeah, hopefully you guys have heard of some good films, or at least want to go see some of these films. I would definitely recommend Saw, just in time for Jigsaw, because damn well I'm going to be first in line for that one.
That's out this month as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jigsaw, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. Like, fuck Blade Runner 2, it's all about Jigsaw for me. But, we'll see. But yeah.
If there's nothing else for us to talk about with, like, horror movies, Recess, do you want to just talk about Catherine for another 20 minutes?
Go for it.
Extended review. That's what it's basically turned into. I mean, you guys probably haven't heard that, but yeah. Look forward to that. But yeah, I guess we can move on to our final section, which is going to be the video of the episode, and that is fittingly going to be John Carpenter, Christine, which is a short music video. I believe he did compose the song, because John Carpenter does make music, and I believe he did shoot the music video. And yeah, I just thought it'd be awesome throwback. Well, that's basically the whole point of it, is a throwback to his films and that style of like horror and his films and all that. And yeah, just really cool. He dropped this before October, which is cool as well. And I saved it specifically for one of these podcasts. So yeah, hopefully you guys will see the master at work and that awesome synth composed soundtrack. And also, if you like that kind of music, listen to John Carpenter's soundtracks and his more recent ones as well, because they are pretty interesting. He's kind of just gone more back to his musical roots, which is interesting. So yeah, I would recommend that. Anything you guys want to add to this podcast before we wrap it up? Anything at all?
Anything.
I want to say, going back to Lights Out.
Yeah.
You said you didn't see it, did you?
No, I haven't seen it, no.
The only thing that ruined it for me was seeing the demon's face.
Okay.
Because it wasn't as scary as I wanted it to be.
And it didn't need a face,
No,
I guess?
it didn't need one.
Okay.
Not at all.
That's how, I guess we can also add that into discussion. And like you said earlier as well, Terrets, when you see it, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's all about the mystery. Yeah. It's something, and that's why films like It Follows works, because you don't really technically see it. I guess the only thing I guess I'll plug is that it's October, so we've got some special things planned for this October. I'm not going to say what exactly they are going to be, but what I'm going to say is we're going to have some re-uploads, we're going to have a full playthrough, and we're going to have the return of something we did last year.
The playthrough is Catherine.
Oh, Terrets, come on, man.
I'm sorry. I was just so excited.
Come on, I wanted to tease it, and we're doing so well. No, it's not Catherine. It's something very much related to October. But I'm going to say much. You guys are going to find out very, very, very soon, and hopefully you guys will love it, because we had a blast doing it. But yeah, I guess if there's nothing else to say, I'll end this podcast by saying I was the Angry Raccoon.
I was Terrets.
And I was Recess.
And we will see you on the next podcast.
Later.
Bye.
All right, laters, guys.